What's up, everybody? Brock Vierra here, Team MBS Media's off the Dome Miami co-host. Unfortunately, our other host, Thomas Brown, is in transit. He's currently getting off a flight out to California right now, so hopefully he'll be able to join us soon. But we got a great show for you guys today. We're talking Wrestlemania reactions, NBA play-in, potential matchups, biggest pet peeves, and much more. So let's just dive right into it. Let's talk about the NBA for a second. Now, as the NBA season winds to a halt, it's been an incredible year of surprises, shocks, and for the most part, when it comes to the top teams, a fair amount of consistency. However, for the bottom feeders, there's still a lot to play for, especially with the play-in. Let's go to the Eastern and Western Conference and just kind of like talk about the situation in here. Now, when I was growing up watching basketball, the play-in wasn't a thing. If you were the ninth seed, your season was over. I think the play-in has done an incredible job in adding a layer of excitement to the early rounds of the playoffs that we haven't seen in years past. I mean, let's be real. Now, maybe in the 4-5 matchup, possibly sometimes in the 3-6 matchup, rarely in the other matchups do we see an upset. Now we have teams that are fairly even skill wise going out there competing the hardest that they can to extend the seasons. And I just can't think of a better thing for the NBA. I've been critical for a lot of the things the NBA has done. I think the play-in has been absolutely fantastic. And with that being said, let's just jump right into it. In the Eastern Conference, this one is a doozy because from the fourth seed all the way to the 10th seed, there could be a tremendous amount of movement. Now, all these teams are already locked into either the playoffs or the play-in. So there's no chance that any of them get eliminated. However, like I mentioned, a lot of teams, really close records, potential movement in these final days of the regular season. With the number fourth seed in the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers are standing at 47 and 33. Orlando Magic at 46 and 34. The Indiana Pacers 46 and 34. The Philadelphia 76ers at 45 and 35. The Heat are at 44 and 36. The Bulls are at 38 and 42. And the Hawks are at 36 and 44. Now, immediately, I have two kind of takeaways from this. One, it's a bit egregious when you look at the Eastern Conference and there's two teams locked into the play-in, of course, the Bulls and the Hawks, that have guaranteed that they will have a losing regular season record in 2023-2024 season. When you compare it to the current 10th seed and locked in the West, which is the Los Angeles Lakers, that's currently standing at 45 and 35, a good 10 games over 500. I wonder if this could potentially lead to a conversation where there is an evolution in the structure of the playoff system in the NBA. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but when we look at these conferences, at least during my lifetime, there has been clear evidence that one conference has always been stronger than the other. And again, for a majority of my lifetime, that has been the Western Conference, has always been the stronger conference. Now, of course, there have been times where the East has been very strong. In fact, there are times in which the East has been stronger than the West, but it's very rare when you're seeing stuff like this, when you're seeing a team be 8 games under 500 and still having a shot at making the playoffs. It calls into question, one, the legitimacy of this playoffs, and two, what are we doing? Is this old-fashioned structure the proper way to go forward? Now, this structure was created when there was traveling was hard. That's no longer the case. Could we potentially see a realignment? I don't think so. I'm just saying that that's a possibility that's being thrown out there. And quite frankly, you never know with the NBA. I don't think any of us expected a play-in. If we're talking about the NBA 5, 6, 7 years ago, I don't think any of us expected a play-in. I don't think any of us expected an in-season tournament. So, again, something to think about. But moving forward, there's a lot, like I mentioned, a lot of movement that can be said. So here is the projected matchups for the playoffs in the East. The projected seventh seed Philadelphia 76ers will be taking on the projected eighth seed Miami Heat. And then, of course, the ninth seed Chicago Bulls will be taking on the Atlanta Hawks. That ninth and 10th seed is already confirmed. That is not projected. That is confirmed. And then going into kind of the eighth, seventh, all the way up to the fourth seed, we could see the Cavs are only up a game on the Magic, and also the Pacers. They're only up 2 games against the 76ers. So I believe that there's a scenario. Let's take a look at the numbers here, where the Cleveland Cavaliers could. They have the number for the Cleveland Cavaliers, but let's just take a look at the Orlando Magic. So right now that they have a 94% chance of making the playoffs, of course, as the number 5 seed, but there is a 26% chance that they could make the playing game. Indiana, they're pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot. I believe the Cavs are also guaranteed a playoff spot. Yes, sorry. So let me rephrase. The Cavs are guaranteed a playoff spot. Magic have a 94% chance of having a guaranteed playoff spot. The Indiana Pacers have a 99% chance of a guaranteed playoff spot. But of course, we could see movement along that line where the Cavs could drop all the way to being a team that doesn't have home court advantage in the opening round of the playoffs. And then when we get into the Philadelphia 76ers, that's kind of the big question, because right now that they're at a 70% chance of making the playing game. They're not really locked in, but unless we see some type of crazy letdown by the Pacers or the Magic, that could drastically change things, of course. And we're pretty much confirmed that the Heat, it would take a very specific set of circumstances for the Heat to somehow gain an automatic playoff spot. Now, there's several matchups happening um, that we need to keep an eye on. Give me 1 second. So we have today's games Friday. That's going to determine a lot of these seedings. And the major game, of course, is that the Orlando Magic are traveling to the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. And of course, a win by the 76ers completely changes things. However, I just don't, again, I don't really see that happening. When we take a look at these teams, when the Magic are well suited, to, I believe, to take on the Sixers. But the question comes into, well, the Magic are on a 2-game losing streak. Philadelphia Sixers have won 6 straight. Could that possibly factor into some type of change? And of course, that also includes the injury history and also the recent injury of Joel Embiid. Like, how is that going to play? How's that going to factor into this? I think that you know that could either potentially change the outcome, or
ladies and gentlemen, second driver will be approaching the carousel momentarily.
LAX right now committed to the grind. Mr. Thomas Brown, thank you for
Second
joining us. How
driver
are you doing today?
to the carousel to the
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
will be right in front of the office.
So just landed, bro.
Yeah, literally just touched down a few moments ago.
What
So,
happened? You're supposed to land like an hour ago.
well, when you got a flight to Cali from Baltimore, the flight's a little bit different these days. You know what I mean? So we're just trying to get in where we could fit in. You know what I'm saying? That's all. It's all good in the game.
Most definitely. Well, how about we pivot away from the NBA real quick? Let's talk about you and your flight into California, because I think that's what
Yeah.
people really want to talk about. Is the most interesting man in the world, Mr. Thomas Brown. How was your flight? Tell us all about it. What happened? We want the details, especially flying out of Baltimore.
Okay, so first of all, that was probably the smoothest 5-hour flight I've ever done. Number one. Number two, it was a great experience, man. The flight attendants on there was pretty cool. Um, just an overall great experience. Usually when you on a flight for that long, it's just dragging a whole lot. You're just trying to get to your destination, but just the fact that everything kind of went by in its own time, it was pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. Even there was one point where we were celebrating this little girl's birthday. Shout out to Ava, by the way. She turned 4 on Sunday, and we all took the time out to celebrate her birthday, and it was a cool, sweet little moment. I actually recorded it. It was awesome. I was like, wow, I didn't even think that we would do this type of stuff while we're on like we're thousands and thousands of feet in the air. So just to experience stuff like that, man. This is my first time in a while that I've been flying. So um, to experience that, man, it was all right. It was pretty cool, man. And we got
Absolutely.
her
So
safely.
yeah, that's the main thing. Now, when was the last time you took a flight before today?
The last time I took a flight before today was maybe 21. WrestleMania 38. I was there in I flew to Dallas for night 2. So
Nice.
that was the Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, uh, title unification match. That one. So I
All
want
right.
to say
Well,
maybe 2 years ago.
well, I'll flush this. All right. We got a question here from Team MBS Media. What brings you to Cali, Thomas?
What's bringing me to Cali, y'all? Well, it's very simple, man. Tomorrow is going to be my cousin's 25th birthday, and never really had an opportunity to celebrate her birthday with her. So I figured, well, we figured that we were going to pull it off this year, make some history, and actually celebrate the birthday together. So that's where we're at, and we decided to. She decided to pick Cali as a spot. As soon as I find her, she's all but a 4'6" on a good day. All right, I'm joking. I'm joking. Not that short, but I haven't found her yet. When I do, um, this is what it's all about, man. So that's what brings me here, and I'm very excited because Cali has definitely been on my bucket list in terms of states, places to go for years, for eons, and I finally get to be a part of that. So it's really special, man.
Absolutely. So let us in. What's happening? What's the plans? What you guys got going on?
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie, bud. It's gonna be a whole lot of shenanigans going on. My story is probably gonna be going berserk. For those that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, even um, underscore terrific Tom. In case anybody was wondering, by the way. Um, yeah, my story is going to be going through the roof. Like as soon as I find her, we're gonna go straight to do some shopping. Um, so that's going to be an experience within itself. Then on top of that, I got us 2 tickets to the Clippers game tonight. So looking forward to that as well. Hopefully, they don't sit Kawhi and Paul George um, and Harden and Russ because um, that's kind of what we paid to see. But I also understand that they just clinched some playoff spot the other day, so I'm very man. We got a Clippers game tonight, and then we just have a whole lot of just craziness tomorrow. So so um, it's just everything going on at once right now, and we're going to take it um, one moment at a time, legitimately. So
Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, that's the only way to do it. You can't really have like a whole bunch of plans and expect to get it all done or have a good time. 'Cause it just ruins everything. So, being that you're going to the Clippers game, I do want to throw some facts out there. Clippers right now are 51-29 for the
okay,
overall record. The number 4 in the West, right at number
right,
5, a team that already clinched their playoff spot. The Dallas Mavericks are sitting at 50-30. So I think there's a good
right.
chance we could see some high level basketball from the Clippers tonight. Now, shout out to our
Mm.
I know shout out to our dear friend here at Team MBS Media, Greg Rector, or the Clippers, or how he likes to call it, the Los Angeles Junior Varsity. right now is looking
Oh,
good.
okay.
They're looking solid. They're gonna have a good matchup in the first round, but a matchup that they have the ability to get past. However, when it comes to his beloved Lakers, they're sitting in no man's land. They're at 10th seed right now,
Mm-hmm.
45 and 35. Let's jump back into the basketball conversation. Let's
Absolutely.
talk playing. What are your thoughts so far? We already talked about the East, but we'll get back to that with your thoughts. But now we're
Uh-huh.
transitioning to the West. What's happening with the Lakers?
I think the Lakers are a team that is that just takes too long during the season to figure out what kind of team they are. Um, we don't know if we're fully relying on LeBron still. We don't know if we're fully relying on Anthony Davis still. Um, by the way, shout out to Anthony Davis for having one of, if not the healthiest season of his career so far.
Hmm.
Because we have been giving him a lot of flack over the years for the whole street clothes moniker and everything else. So the fact that he's been able to produce on a consistent level and stay healthy is nothing short of amazing. Um, but I mean, other than that, I just think this is a team that just you know they they pride themselves on you know all it takes is one game because that's literally what it's been for them for the last 2 years. And they're in a situation where all it takes is one game. So it'll be interesting to see how how much they utilize um, Anthony Davis for the remainder of this stretch because I think the believe it or not, whether people want to believe it or not, the ship unfortunately uh, sails or it just completely dumps based on Anthony Davis's performance. So that's just my thoughts on the Lakers. It really shouldn't be this way. It should be a dynamic duel between LeBron and AD, and then the help of Austin Reeves and D'Lo. But the other pieces surrounding them are very inconsistent, and you can't afford to be inconsistent in an environment like the playoffs.
Absolutely. And going back to your point about AD having a healthy season, since he entered the league in 2012, he has a
Mm-hmm.
career high of 75 games played in a single season. This year he has 74. Shout out to him. He also has an average of 2.5 career assists, and this season he is averaging 3.5. Again, just to the credit to him, his team, and this season the
Right.
Lakers and the Warriors are going to be a very interesting matchup because that was a matchup that we saw in the first ever play-in, and that's when, if we recall correctly, LeBron hit that crazy three-pointer to seal the Lakers win and get them into the playoffs that year. That year they would eventually
Unbelievable.
fall to the Phoenix Suns in the first round of the playoffs. This
Right.
year they're going to play in as projected. Now, again, this is the projection. Now they're both
Mm-hmm.
45 and 35, so things could change. They're
Yep.
projected to play in
Oop. All
um.
right.
You're right. They're projected to play in Golden State, but at the same time, the Sacramento Kings are also standing in the West at the record of 45 and 35. So we have three teams that are tied 45-35. So I want to get your prediction. Who are the 7 and 8 seeds in the West, and who are the ninth and 10th?
Ooh. So it's what's the four? It's the Kings, Lakers, Warriors,
And then the Suns are number 7 right now.
and
However,
the
the New Orleans
Suns.
Pelicans are number 6 at 48 and 32, where the Suns are 47 and 33.
Oh, you know what? I don't think that the I don't know, man. I think the Warriors and Lakers are going to stay where they're at.
Hmm.
Um, the switch up is going to happen up top because I think the Kings. I think the Kings may mess around and get past the Suns.
As in switch spots, or that's the play-in matchup.
Oh, as the they would be they would probably get to that 7th spot
You think the Kings somehow get to that 7th spot?
somehow. Somehow, if it's not the Kings, I just don't trust the Suns. I think that's just what my point is. I just don't trust the Suns to hold up that high of a uh of a seating.
That's
They're
fair.
they've shown all year long that no matter who they have on their starting five, no matter who's bringing the ball up for them, that all it takes is for them to not show up on defense like they did against the Clippers the other day, and it's all bets are off.
Right.
And so I can't trust the Suns. Um,
No, that's a very fair thing. So let me transition that to a new question. Let's say
sure.
in the projected standings, let's say
Hmm.
it stays the same. The Suns are the 7th seed, Kings are the 8th, the Lakers are the 10th, and the Warriors are the 9th. Right?
Right.
Who wins in that scenario between the Suns and the Kings? Are you still rolling with the Kings despite them having a 2-game losing streak?
This will be for the play-in tournament, correct?
Yeah, this we're already in the play-in. As established, Suns are 7th, Kings are 8th in this hypothetical.
I think Suns will pull that out.
You think Suns pull it out of the play-in? Okay. And then what
Yeah,
about the Warriors at home against the Los Angeles Lakers? Who wins that one?
man. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. As a Warriors fan slash Steph fan, I still have nightmares to this day about that LeBron shot where he couldn't see. Don't get me started with that, okay? Look,
Yeah. Oh,
it's
I
still
aim for the middle rim.
yeah.
Yeah.
I aim for the middle
I
rim.
don't.
Don't
I don't know
don't get
about
me
that.
started.
He flubbing. He flubbing. Let's not.
let's not do that with Braun. I'm not doing that today. I'm not.
Fact.
But
Talk to him.
um but uh in that scenario, I think the Lakers pull it out just because and Anthony Davis is going to have that game where it's just like there's nothing that you can do to stop him, and and no matter what type of coverages you do, um, it's not going to matter because he's going to have 20 and 20. Um, and maybe I'm off on this metric, but I like to think that they have a pretty good record when Anthony Davis has 10 plus rebounds. Um, and I know everybody's like, oh well, it's Anthony Davis. He's supposed to get 10 plus rebounds. Uh, okay, that's fine, but usually rebounds doesn't translate to wins. But
Facts.
because of Anthony Davis and the performance that he does on a consistent basis, on top of the rebounding and the points that he puts up, I don't think that's much that Golden State can do about it unless you have a heroic performance from Steph where he just goes berserk. And for a one game situation, he could pull it off. But that shouldn't be the expectation though. And I think if that is the case, you have to give the nod to the Lakers on that one, which pains
Let me
me to say.
Let me get a point of clarification. Did you say rebounds don't or do contribute to victories?
They do.
Okay,
They do.
I was make sure we're on the same. But yeah, I was about to say. All right, so okay, so let's say in this scenario, you're picking just to confirm, you're picking the Suns and the Lakers to win their 2 games, right?
Yep.
All right, so then in that scenario, the Suns will be locked in the 7th. The Los Angeles Lakers would visit the Sacramento Kings for the final playoff spot. Who you taking over there?
I have the Lakers again. The Kings are too
Okay.
small.
I think
Actually, you know what? I take that back.
talk to him. What are you
I
thinking?
take that back because Sabonis seems to have Anthony Davis' number. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's like 10-0 against him. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what the juju is when it comes to Sabonis against Anthony Davis. But every time the Kings and the Lakers match up this year, Sabonis is is getting all the rebounds, making all the hustle plays, um, and literally guiding the Kings to victories against the Lakers this year. It's literally insane. But so it would let me say this. It would not shock me if the Kings led by Sabonis, because that's the only way it's gonna work.
Right.
Wins that game. But everything in my right mind tells me that, this is gonna be a LeBron performance where he has, 38 and 8, like something crazy like that. So it just seems right up his alley. I don't know why. It's like whatever Anthony Davis doesn't do one game, LeBron or somebody else will do another. That's how inconsistent the Lakers are. But sometimes you need that if you want to try to, win some games that you only need one game to win. And that's the case for them.
All right. So before we move on, my prediction is that the Lakers. I agree. I think the Lakers beat the Warriors.
Uh-huh.
I think the Lakers get it done inside. I think the Warriors are a little bit too old, a little bit too battered, a little bit too needing of a restart for them
Right.
to take out the Lakers. I actually have the Kings upsetting the Suns behind a solid performance, actually a dominant performance from Sabonis. So then I
Ooh,
had the
okay.
Kings taking the 7th seed, and then when it comes to the Suns and the Lakers, I think the Lake Show gets it done again, and we're going to start to see the things unravel in Phoenix with owner Matt Ishiba, especially with this whole like off court, did he commit like fraud or something like that, kind of thing. I think the Suns come crashing down fairly quickly. So last question before we
You just
move.
want chaos. You just
I
want
I,
chaos.
I do. So I have two last questions before we move on up to the Eastern
Absolutely.
Conference. With the Western Conference, a lot of great teams. As of right now, who do you pick winning the Western Conference?
Um, until somebody can show me otherwise, this is the Nuggets world, and we're all just living in it. That's me just being brutally honest with y'all.
Mm.
Um, it's just I don't know. I don't know. This is one of those scenarios where you can't go off of um you can't really go off of the regular season when it comes to the Nuggets. Um, you just had to go off of what they've shown that they're able to do in the playoffs the last 3 years, 4 years to be exact. With Jokic leading the way, Murray starting to pick it up a little bit. MPJ is still getting his shots up. The list really goes on and on. It's a full team that you're going up against. It's not one of those situations where you have a star player. There's some complementary pieces, and then that's about it. No, from top to bottom, you have to worry about every single player based on the role that they do. Um, Jokic obviously being the star, being the leader. Then you have Jamal Murray as the great Robin for Jokic. Then you have MPJ, who's a great uh, catch and shoot guy. Then you have Aaron Gordon, that's great with the pick and roll actions with Jokic, and then the way that he plays well on defense. Um, then you have Kentavious Caldwell Pope, what he brings when he gets off the bench. Christian Brown, what he's able to do as a two-way player. The when I tell you the list goes on and on when it comes to the Nuggets, I'm not joking. Like, this is a team that is very well balanced and is equipped for literally every situation. And shout out to Mike Malone for kind of cultivating that um, just the way that they're able to perform that consistently for this long. Like, you would think that somebody would be able to pay attention to this by now, but I ain't going to deny it until I'm shown otherwise. We're in the Nuggets world, and that's about it, and that's okay.
Absolutely. So my second question is actually a two-part one. Going
Sure.
back to Golden State, Chris Paul, 38 years old, legend,
Mm-hmm.
never has gotten a chance to win a championship yet. If the Warriors lose, like we project, is he done?
Yes.
Okay. And then second question is, did he bang Kim Kardashian? like Kanye West said. Unfortunately, we don't have Thomas's soundboard today, so he can't make any fun noises.
I want to so bad. I want to so bad. I'm not even going to answer that. Is there a way to really answer that? I don't know. I don't know.
No, there really isn't. Real quick question for the boss man, Joe Cardozo. Hey, Thomas, where you at? For the people that have just been joining us, where are you right now?
I am still at the LAX airport. Just picked up my bag, actually. So I'm in the process of trying to find my cousin, which is literally like finding Where's Waldo at this point. So I'm going to sit down and charge my phone until I could find her, and not put a whole lot of strain on my shoulders and my back carrying this bag. I think that's a smart move.
Absolutely. And for those just joining us, especially the boss man, Thomas and family will be at the Clippers game tonight as the Clippers take on the Utah Jazz at Crypto Arena,
Yep.
even though that still sounds wrong
to
say.
Just call it Staples. Just call it Staples.
Yeah, and Staples.
Just call it Staples.
It's not Caesar Superdome in Louisiana. It's still Mercedes-Benz, in my opinion. And no one's going to change my mind about it. All right, moving on over to the Eastern Conference. Two questions for you. Right now, the projected matchups. 7th seed Philadelphia 76ers are taking on the 8th seed Miami Heat. And, of course, the two teams that will finish the season under 500. It is Christie's, our team member here at Team MBS Media's beloved Chicago Bulls, projected 9th seed against the 10th seed ATL Atlanta Hawks. Who are your projected winners in those matchups?
Ooh. I think Hawks get their matchup win.
Okay.
I just think DeJounte Murray has one of those performances where there's just nothing that anyone can do about it, and that's okay. Then, Sixers in Miami, right? Did I hear that correctly?
You are correct.
Look, man, Embiid, you're going to have to try it again another time. I don't know what it is. I have been traumatized, not even traumatized, but I know there's been a lot of fans over the past 3 years that's been traumatized by the Jimmy Butler experience when it comes to the playoffs / play-in. And I don't think this year is going to be any different. I think Jimmy Butler becomes the Jimmy Butler that he's always been in the playoffs, and he just has a game where he has 35, 6, and 3, and Tyler Hero has 20. Bam has 20 and 10. Like, it would not shock me if that ends up being the case because it I don't know. It's just a Jimmy Butler experience at this point, and I've accepted it. I really have. So I have Miami pulling that one out. But would it shock me if the Sixers were to win that game? No, because I think it would be a performance by an Embiid, by a Maxey, where they can take the game over themselves, which they have shown that is prone to happen. I just don't think going against a Miami team that could strike hot at any moment in time is just going to falter to that extent. I just don't see that. I just don't.
Okay. And before you move on, I want to make my projection. In the 7 and 8th seed, it's tough. It's really tough.
It is.
I think Joel is a bit too much for the Heat. However, I think he also gets banged up and is not the same player he was going to be in the second half as he is in the first half. So I am picking the Miami Heat to beat the 76ers. However, I want to throw in an addendum in there. and that is
Okay.
I don't know who will be playing as the seventh seed, but I think Philadelphia actually sneaks in to the playoffs and does not actually have to play in the play-in. So I'm just gonna throw that in there. Moving
Ooh.
on,
Okay.
Bulls, Hawks. You already mentioned that you think that the Hawks are going to be too much. I would also like to add I agree with you on that
Mm-hmm.
statement. Trey Young just came back. I think that they're getting healthy at the right time, and
Yep.
I don't know, for some reason I just don't like the Bulls. So I think the Hawks pull off the upset in this scenario.
Yeah.
76ers, Atlanta. Who you taking?
Give me Sixers.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. However, part of me feels like the Hawks could get it done. So just because I'm a cynic and because shout out to Mark Wilson and his beloved Philadelphia 76ers, I'm picking the ATL Hawks as well. Now, of course, in that scenario, the Hawks would enter the playoffs as the eighth
Okay.
seed. And that brings us to our next question here posed by Team NBS Media. The Hawks would play the Boston Celtics in
Mm-hmm.
the first round since they have clinched the number one seed. This was a team that I was high on entering the season. Mark was high on as well. Those we both had them as our projected representative in the Eastern Conference. Do you
Mm-hmm.
believe this is the year Boston gets it done?
I would love to believe that. I really would. Um, the problem is, and I don't mean to have a whole lot of candor behind me saying this, but Boston has had a track record of having these expectations put on them because of the performances that they've put up throughout the regular season. Then come playoff time, we're having stinkers from Jalen Brown. We're having stinkers from Jason Tatum. We're having no shows from. It wouldn't shock me if we have a no show from Porzingis. Like it's like whatever happened in the regular season that showed how dominant of a team they were. It just goes right out the window come playoff time, and I don't understand why. Now, granted, people would love to say that it was a Brad Stevens issue. First, it was Brad Stevens. Then it was Joe Mazzulla. Then it was like the list goes on and on. It's always somebody else's fault. Um, I will say this though. Um, the time frame for Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown to get it done, they got they got this year, next year, in my personal opinion. If they don't get it done within these next 2 years, forget about it. You can split
Oh, sorry, we can't hear you. Nope, nope. Well, while Thomas has fixed that issue, I'm going to kind of expound on that point. And I agree that I don't think Boston gets it done this year, but not for the reasons that he's saying. I still believe that Boston is the representative in the Eastern Conference. But the problem is when I look at this Western Conference, I don't see them getting past the Nuggets. I don't see them getting past the T Wolves. I don't see them getting past the Thunder. I don't see them getting past the Clippers or the Mavericks. And those are the top five seeds. I don't think they get past any of them. I think that whoever they play in the Western Conference Finals, they will lose to, and that's if they even make it. I also think that there's still that lingering doubt in the back of their minds that if they somehow get matched up with Miami again, Lightning's going to strike twice. Um, Not only in the fact that the eighth seed, if Miami gets as the eighth seed, would beat the number one seed, but also the fact that Miami would beat the Celtics again. I think that there's a mental hurdle that the Boston Celtics have failed to get over for quite a long time, and I call that the red R back hurdle. An organization like the Celtics needs a strong leader on the top. Now, I'm not saying that Brad Stevens is a strong leader or anything like that. I'm not saying Joe Mazzulla is not a strong leader. I'm not saying, but you need to have a figurehead that has tremendous power, commands respect, and is able to put fear in the hearts of the opponents. And unfortunately, the great lure of the Boston Celtics of old does not exist anymore. The old Boston Garden was a fortress. The new Boston Garden is just an arena. Auerbach had a dynasty. This is a team. Arbach had superstars playing within structure. This feels like superstars playing with superstars, and sometimes it just doesn't work out and it falls apart because there is no structure. I've been let down by the Celtics too many times to have the faith that they'll be able to get it done this year, and that is why I don't believe that the Celtics will get it done. I think that there was two pivotal moments in the Celtics history that has drastically changed the trajectory of the franchise. One that was the death of Len Bias. I believe I pronounced his name correct. If I didn't, I apologize. And two, that is the death of Red Auerbach. They have yet to replace either the player or the strong leader, and that has seriously dampened, whatever, screwed up the Celtics ever since. So that's why I don't think the Celtics are. Oh, we're back. All right,
Yeah,
so I
we
was
are
just
back.
kind of getting over why I don't think the Celtics are going to win it. I just said that the Western Conference is too strong and the structure is messed up. Do you have anything to add before we take our first commercial break?
In regards to the Celtics,
Celtics, yes.
um, man, I just like I said, man, they don't have much time to keep losing to the losing at the Eastern Conference Finals. They don't have time to keep missing the opportunities to win the East. Look, they need to get it done. They need to get it done now, before it's too late. Um, and you know that's just the timeline that Boston's in right now. They just can't afford to have any more blunders by Jason Tatum, by Jalen Brown. They just can't afford it. So that's just me though.
Absolutely. When we come back, we're going to talk about our pet peeves for a little bit, and then finish off this show with our WrestleMania reactions. We'll be right back.
Streetwear is not dead. The next wave of black fashion comes out of the Bronx, New York. Rich Kid Clothing, picking up where FUBU, Rockaware, and Kyle Kanai left off. Rich Kid is for the next generation of Get Fly fashion heads. Use promo code MELLOW23 for 15% off your next order. And for orders over $100, there is free shipping. Again, use promo code MELLOW23 for 15% off your next order.
Welcome back to Off the Dome. I'm Brock Vierra. My co-host Thomas Brown, currently on the road in LAX right now, looking for his cousin. Hopefully, we wish him luck as he does that. We're going to do a real quick segment. We're going to talk about pet peeves. And we're going to finish out the show, as mentioned, WrestleMania reactions. Pet peeves, Thomas. You've been
Yeah.
surrounded by a lot of people today. You went through TSA. Hopefully, that was a decent experience. What are some of your pet peeves in life?
Okay, so my number one pet peeve, and I've had constant conversations with females about this because yes, it is a female thing. Unfortunately, guys don't do this. So I want to put a disclaimer out right now, so that way no one, throws the barbed wires and blow torches my direction. Um, but one of my biggest pet peeves is, here's a scenario, right? You ask me what I would choose between two options. I give you said choice on between those two options, just for you to turn around and pick the opposite one, because why not? What was the purpose of you asking me? why why even remotely take the opportunity to ask me pick A or B? I pick A just for you to pick B because vibes. That, like, no, that that throws me off every time. It never misses. It never misses. So it's one of those things where I'm just like, nah, man. Like, it grinds my gears because it never ends. Oh, do you like this dress? Do you like this one? I like the first one. They decide to wear the second one. Okay. Yep. So that off rip is probably it for me. What about you, man?
Now, keep it on relationships with women. This one is something that affects me on the reg, and that is when you're trying to find a place to eat, right? and you don't know what you want. Like, I don't know what I want, and
Right.
like she doesn't know what she wants, but then she gets mad at me for not having a suggestion, even though
Oh
she
God.
has yet to give any suggestion. That pisses me off because you're getting mad at me for the same thing you're doing. Like, I get it if I couldn't make a decision, but you're throwing out options. That's on me. I take full responsibility for that. But
Right.
how are you
Right.
gonna
Right.
get mad at me? How are you gonna get at me for not having an idea when you also don't have it? And you know what? I love my girl. I love my girl, and she is a phenomenal person, school teacher, and she always comes to me like, Brock, I make so many decisions during the day. Like, I don't want to make any more decisions, and I can empathize with that. The
Right.
problem is, it completely discredits the fact. I think because I work nights, she doesn't throw that in there. You know that I also make tremendous amount of decisions during the day. Just because my timeline does not align with your timeline does not mean I'm not the same mentally fatigued as you. So
Yeah.
don't put
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
don't put this on me. Because when you put it on me, now I'm gonna get mad, and then you're gonna get mad, and we're gonna be mad at each other, and then you end up fighting so badly that you end up going to Texas Roadhouse, and all I want is an onion bloom or onion blossom, whatever it is, and some rolls, and all you get is a hamburger, and we're mad at each other for the rest of the night until we apologize before we go to bed because you don't want to go to bed too angry. So that's one of my pet peeves. Throw it back to you, Thomas. What are some of your pet peeves?
I feel like you've been sitting on that one for like the last
Yeah,
year and a half,
so, well,
and I'm glad that we
just
provide that
made
space on this show.
we just made 4 years in February, so this is probably been going on for
Congratulations.
like, thank you, sir. It's probably been going on for like 4.5 years. So
Uh,
that's the worst part about it. We don't argue, we don't fight, we have no problems except for this. Like, trying to figure out a place to eat is like
yeah.
the worst thing about like dating someone, because you're never gonna get an answer that truly satisfies unless you have the answer within like 2 minutes, right?
Right.
And for
Right.
us, it usually ends up being sushi. Except the problem is you can't eat sushi every day. So when we get to that point, we're like, oh shoot, what do we do? But
Oh
I
my God.
digress. What are some of your pet peeves? Let's name two more on each of us and then we'll
Okay.
move on.
Sure. I think another pet peeve of mine is, ooh man, I don't. You know what, man? I think another pet peeve for me is if we're out somewhere, we're out eating or something like that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey, um, what do you what are your thoughts on this?
Mm.
Just a casual question to ask, right? What are your thoughts on X, Y, and Z? And you're like, well, why are you asking me? I'm like, I'm trying to start a conversation. I can't start a conversation without somebody being bothered, offended, or both. Like I don't know what it is. I feel like these days I feel like just something as small as that. Like I'm trying to have a regular, casual conversation about just your opinion on something. Just so you'd be like, well, actually, I don't think you should be asking me that because I just, you know, I just don't feel comfortable. It's only 1 minute in, and chill out, buddy. All I asked is what your thoughts was on X, Y, and Z. And I didn't want to cause a civil war. That was not the intention. Relax.
Mm.
Just blowing stuff out of proportion. That that
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
my pet
Pe-
peeve. I just
pe-
can't do that.
People be overvaluing themselves. Like
Yes.
first, like you ate all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like just answer the question. And if you don't want
Just
to
answer
answer,
the
just say
question.
I really don't have an opinion. And that's cool. We keep it
Thank you.
pushing. Like
Thank
it's
you.
not it's not difficult. Also, just wanted to shout out our fantastic members here at Team MBS Media. Watch us up, bro. I just want to give a shout out to all the members of Team MBS Media, but especially the people behind the scenes, the people that keep it pushing. We have a lot of great team members that help us with our content, get everything out. A lot of those members, are females, so they understand where my girl is coming from. But I just ask that
Uh
you understand where I'm coming from as not a guy, but just a human
you.
with feelings.
Thank you.
Like
There
I
you
like
go.
like
There you
stop.
go.
Like don't make me choose. Don't. Like I keep hearing on Twitter. I like it when a guy takes control. I don't want to take control. All right, I'm not that guy. You know what I want to do? I want you to tell me what you like, and then I like to say okay, because you know what? There's no questions. There's no debate. There's no unhappiness, right? But you know what? Hey, that's life. That's relationships, and that's what transitioned me to my second pet peeve. It's
Okay.
people hitting on your significant other in front of you and generally thinking they have a shot. So for me and my girl, we don't really go to bars or clubs or anything like that where this typical type of behavior happens, right? Because that's an
Yeah.
environment in which it's not only happening, it's accepted, and I understand that.
Right. Right.
I want to bring up two instances in which I was with my girlfriend, standing in front of her, and then these two dudes tried to hit on her. So one was at Home Goods. Like what? Like we're in the checkout. Like this is the cashier. This is not like a random customer. Like random customer. The cashier is trying to like make small. Like I can understand small talk and I can understand being friendly, right? But there's questions that you start asking that I'm like really dog, like motherfucker,
Yeah.
wrap my girlfriend's candles in the fucking paper and let's keep it pushing. Like, like why? Like why? Like why are you doing this? So that was one time that kind of caught me off guard. And the second time was we made a. So we have a Smith's grocery store out here. That's kind of our main grocery store here in Las Vegas, or one of them. We made a mobile order. So essentially, you pull up and right, you already paid for everything. You already asked it. So they bring out your car, they load it up, you go away. All good. We do it all the time. People come in, they say hello, we say hi back. They make quick conversation. Make quick conversation back. They ask where do you want your groceries. Load up in the back. Maybe talk while they're doing it. Say goodbye. You know, it's very pleasant, very polite. It's what a modern functioning society thrives on, right?
Okay.
This motherfucker, right? I'm in the passenger seat. I'm a little bit inebriated. All right, it's hella early for some reason. I don't know why we're doing this, right? And he like basically just hitting on my girlfriend. Like I'm not in the passenger seat. Now I'm just like, just load the groceries and go. Like, do you like? He started asking like, do you want a job at this Smith's? Like after she already explained she was a school teacher. Like numbnuts. Like use your mind for 1 second. To become a school teacher, you need to become certified. You need to pass background checks. You need to go to school. You do training. You do observation hours. It's the whole point.
Right.
Do you really think she wants to quit that to work with you at Smith's and maybe bone you in the back room? Like, are you that dense that she is like? Like I'm not mad that it happened. I'm mad at the audacity. What gives you the confidence to, first of all, you're on the clock, so I really don't think this is appropriate behavior, and I'd probably report you if I really wanted to. But secondly,
Right.
actually there's 2 points. One,
Uh-huh.
why are you doing this? And two, whenever the female lady comes out to do it, she doesn't hit on me. Like, damn, like am I so fucked up that you, like, geez, like I was hurt. Honestly, if you were bisexual, why'd you hit it on me, man? Like, damn. Like I don't even know what I'm mad at more. You hit it on my girl, you're not hitting on me. Like, damn, my feelings kind of hurt. I'm hurt, dog. Jeez, but you know that's my second kind of pet peeve. To wrap up this segment, what's your last pet peeve, Thomas? Oh man, like come on, I got feelings. Damn, why'd you hit on both of us? Jeez, maybe I want a job at Smith's. You never thought about that? Damn. I heard you guys get benefits. I need medical.
What is going on right now?
It came off the dome.
Oh, hey, that's what this show is all about.
I was definitely.
Look, you know what?
I don't discriminate. Damn.
You don't, and I'm glad you don't. This last pet peeve is a very special one because, you know, it's one thing to, you know, always be on the lookout for something. You know,
Okay.
It's always bothersome for some people to have to always be on the lookout for something, always having to find something, being sent on to find something. So when you send yourself on a personal mission to find my cousin, hello, welcome to the show. No, don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now. When I spent the last, how long, Brock? Maybe what, the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's been a trek.
No, he got here before me.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the settlers that went from like New York City to Oregon in like 1810 got there faster than you try to find your family member. If I'm being real with you.
Yo, when I tell you this is the hardest shit I've ever done, and we're just getting started.
We came at different times.
That don't matter.
That does matter. You came here before me.
Look, and I wasn't joking about the height, but I was joking about the height. No, I told them that you were like 4'6" on a good day. I was wrong.
First of all,
Yeah. First of all,
yeah, go ahead and tell me you're 6'7". I knew you was gonna say 6'7".
First of all, once this camera closes, you will get slapped, Thomas, like right in the dome. Like she got
on a bad day, I'm 6'3".
On a bad day,
she's you about to get that fresh set right into your head. It's getting.
I said what I said.
Period. Style on business.
Right? Oh my God! Don't encourage this behavior, sir.
First of all, are we here to celebrate her birthday?
Who, me?
Yeah. Aren't you there to celebrate her birthday?
I am.
So show her some grace.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Is that what it is? Shame on me. You know what, Brock? Brock? I am not liking this presidential side of you. I really don't. This Cody Rhodes politician side of you, I am not liking it.
I know
but
she voted for me, so hey, don't hate the player, hit the game. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. but no, my last pet peeve though.
Talk to me.
Actually, you know what? Let's ask the lovely birthday girl. What would you say is your biggest pet peeve?
When people say they're gonna do something and then they never do it, and then they say sorry, and they ended up saying you're gonna do it one time and then they never do it, and then
Wait. Let me guess. This was the person that did that was someone you were interested in romantically, and it got you hurt. It got you in your feelings. You had to listen to some music. I see it. Don't tell me no. Don't tell me. I see it. I've been there.
It's not even that. I was saying in general. Now, if that happened to you, then I'm sorry.
Oh my!
I think that happened to all of us at one time or another.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Well, I don't think I've experienced that.
I have. My dumb ass stayed up at 2 a.m. in the morning thinking she gonna come through. She ain't come through. All right. I'm just in my room standing up like I'm saying the Pledge of Allegiance. You know,
just Pledge of Allegiance is crazy.
Just full information. Like, just waiting. Looking like an idiot. I get it. I've been there. I have been there.
Oh,
I get it.
Oh my God.
Hey, I get it. It's the worst one. It happens a lot. I get it. But it's either a potential relationship that hurts or a family member. Like, especially if that family member is like either on the same age as you or like has like some type of like parental, you know, kind of status in your life. Like that. Hey, I don't know where you're looking to hide. You in the corner, but that's it. We got you. We got you on camera on 4K. And we know.
Thank you, Brock.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
And Julio wanted to say that Brock having too much fun. You're absolutely right. I am, and that leads me to my last pet peeve. And I want to get both of your thoughts on this. My last pet peeve is parents taking their kids to places that those kids do not belong at all. That
Okay.
is my pet peeve. Like, for example, weddings that kids are not supposed to be at, or oh, oh, I think, oh, we lost Thomas. All right, so weddings, fancy restaurants are not well behaved, plays. Like, why are you bringing them to the theater if they cannot, chill out, right? Or even a movie theater, like that bugs me. Like, why do I have to hear your child screaming while Avengers Endgame is going on? Why? I probably shouldn't have been in there either. But why are you bringing your 7-year-old to watch the other guys? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I need. This man said, standing. Very true. Like, why would you do that? Why are first of all, your child is not special. Your child is literally the result of you being a foolish person late at night. All right, here we are. Back with Thomas Brown, his
Yeah.
cousin, LAX. So yeah, that's what I was saying. My biggest pet peeve is that I don't like it when parents bring their kids to things that they shouldn't be brought at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Ooh.
I agree.
Thank you.
Because some kids don't know how to act. And if you know your kid don't know how to act, why are you bringing them in that type of environment? Like a wedding, for example. If you know your kid is not going to sit there quietly the whole time, why is your kid there?
That's what I'm saying. I think more brides, especially if they were heels, need to practice taking them off and chucking it at screaming kids. Like, I think that should be part of like a bachelorette party is like axe throwing, so they have like the fundamental motion of clocking a kid with a shoe. Like,
Oh,
I don't care. I'll say it. If no one else gonna say it, I'll say it.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know about the bride, but maybe the bridesmaids.
but hey, honestly,
I'm not gonna take off
Yo.
you.
you're
I
right.
know
you're,
we are
you're
not
right.
choosing violence on this show. What is going on right now?
Oh, no, I definitely. So maid of honor
No,
takes
it's
out the
not.
kid, and the rest of the bridesmaids takes out the parents. Like, it needs to be
Yeah.
like single file formation, like old ass British redcoats firing that musket down the line. Like, I need shoes flying. like why? Like, you as a parent. Like, I'm not saying that you need to have like a test, but a certain like evaluation to give you like a chart to show the deficiencies in your parenting need to happen, because too many of these kids nowadays are just be going too crazy. Not the kids' fault. They're kids. It's the parents' fault. But at the same time, your rainbow baby ain't special. Your rainbow baby grew for 9 months and popped out. Like, let's
Yeah.
not take the piss here. Like, your child ain't special. Your child is like all of us at one time or another. Keep him at home. Sell him to a sitter. Don't have one. Lots of options. That kind of rounds out my final pet peeves. Moving on to our final segment before we wrap it up real quick. I want to get your thoughts, Thomas. WrestleMania. What do you think?
Oh, so good, man. One of, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I was playing around with it when I did my promo video, but this is probably the greatest WrestleMania I've ever seen. Probably the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I'm not joking. From top to bottom, the way Triple H spaced everything out so that way every match had its ample amount of time, number one, and two, each match felt important. Even the ones that we didn't think was going to have a whole lot of importance or a lot of takeaways from. For example, the Philadelphia Street fight between the Final Testament and the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. Like, I was prepared for that to be just a match. They ended up being very entertaining. And then obviously to have the Avengers Endgame for the main event of night 2, chef's kiss. Cody being able to finally finish his story on the day that his dad wanted 46 years ago to the day. So poetic. The way they did that match from top to bottom was top tier, S tier. I can really go on and on about just how legendary this WrestleMania was, because everyone, you may not agree with every single decision that was made. Like, for example, I didn't agree with Gunther losing the title, but was there a great match involved? Yes. Um, you know, even the matches that disappointed, I understood. The biggest disappointment that everybody has is the Jimmy versus Jay match. But if you're telling me that they were putting that to the side so that way Jay could spear him off the freaking stage for night 2, I understand. Like, you're gonna have to save your body for something like that. So I just think from top to bottom, man, this is probably it's if it's not your greatest WrestleMania, because well, actually WrestleMania 18 between Rock and Hogan, yeah, that was it. Attitude Era at its finest. Stone Cold and Rock, yeah, for the WWE Championship, that's actually going to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Stop. If you want to hold on to that, that's fine. But in terms of from top to bottom, from a 2-night main event, it doesn't get much better than that. I'm sorry. I'll tell you this much. This is the greatest 2-night WrestleMania that's ever been produced. So I mean, I could go on and on because every single match hit on a level that I've never seen before. And like I said, like, I've never had. It's not very often that wrestling itself can have you be emotional. When Cody pinned Roman for the 1, 2, 3. And to hear Samantha Irvin trying to announce his name and she couldn't because she was emotional. Michael Cole trying to announce the rest of the show and he really couldn't because he was emotional. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm kind of a crybaby, but when that happened, when I tell you a brother shed a tear because it was an end of an era from both sides. Like, Cody finished his story, and then Roman, who had an historic reign, by the way, that might be one of, if not the greatest reign of all time, all things considered. And for all that to culminate in the manner that it did, I have no words. No words. What you think, man?
No, I agree with you completely, and there's really nothing more to say except one shout out to Triple H for a job well done. This
Right.
and Shawn Michaels as well. This is the result of putting wrestling people in charge of wrestling shows. This was
Yep.
this was long term storytelling. This was proper timing. This was emotion. This was everything that you want in a wrestling show. If there has been times that we have seen in the past in which WWE has screwed up things, especially at WrestleMania, with the Undertaker streak being the biggest example. So with Roman having a streak of his own with this long-term championship run, this felt like the perfect time to end it, and they did it masterfully. They connected the past to the present and the present to the future. They made fans of every age excited, and there's really nothing more to say. Well done by everyone. And to top it all off, with everything that has happened in AEW in these past weeks, this could have not gone better for WWE. And once again,
Seriously.
like, and the best part is, when you talk about timing, the induction of Paul Heyman to do it before this WrestleMania, it just capped it off everything. Again, back to the connection. They connected past to present, present to future. Excellent long-term storytelling, adding gems for the future. And even though this is the end of one era, it has opened the door to a next. Has given the opportunity for the big-time superstars, Seth freaking Rollins, Roman Reigns, the guys that have been carrying this company on their backs for a long time, to maybe go and get the rest they need so they can come back and be stronger. You know, or you know, not have to have that weight on their shoulders as in years past. So again, I think this was excellent. I have nothing more to say except what a great WrestleMania, and yeah, no, just looking forward to seeing what happens next. Thomas, I know you have a lot of things to do. You just landed at LAX. I know everyone appreciates you taking the time to hop on. We're happy you found your cousin. Happy birthday to her. Also, have fun in Los Angeles. Have fun at the Clippers game tonight. I'm going to wrap everything up so you get on your way. You have anything to say before you head off?
Hey, look, y'all. This wasn't supposed to happen, by the way. I will pull back the curtains. I had told everybody, look, man, I'm making this trip. I don't know how this is gonna work. So hopefully, A, I didn't outstay my welcome, and B, I'm glad that I found my cousin in the process, and C, um, thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. It just seeing everybody that's able to tune in and um really engage with this show really means a lot to us. And uh the tears haven't come out yet. I think they came out with last week's show where we had the we ended with the most viewers ever. So let's just keep that train moving, man. So shout out to everybody that's been able to tune in and enjoy our shenanigans for close to an hour plus sometimes. It's really greatly appreciated, man. It just goes to show that our hard work behind the scenes doesn't go unnoticed, and it's greatly appreciated. So thank y'all.
Most definitely. Once again, my co-host Thomas Brown. He will be back next week in Maryland at his beautiful studio.
Absolutely.
We'll see you later, Thomas. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
In 2006, we founded Yeti Coolers with a simple mission: build a cooler we use every day if it existed. One that was built for the serious outdoor enthusiasts rather than for mass discount retailers. One that could take the abuse we knew we'd put it through, out in the field and on the water. One that simply wouldn't break. We decided early on that production innovation would come from necessity and first-hand experience, not from market research and data analysis. Today, Yeti products perform when it matters most. Whether that be an excursion into the remote Alaskan wilderness, chasing redfish on the Gold Coast, or just getting together with friends in the backyard, we make gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder. Hashtag built for the wild.
Well, I want to thank all of you guys for watching. This has been an incredible show. Like Thomas said last week, we were able to achieve the most viewers we've ever had here at Team NBS Media Show. And what happened that week, we got eclipsed by our dear friends Jeff Barnes and Bill Carroll at NBS Draft Central. They're covering everything NFL draft. And then right here, we have 122, I believe, viewers watching right now, which is absolutely incredible. The success we've had so far is really inspiring and really motivating, and we're just going to keep bringing you authentic content moving on forward. Team NBS Draft Central coming up this week, along with my dear friend Mark Wilson's show as well, the Mask podcast. I believe his is Tuesday, NBS Draft Central Wednesday. Check into those as well. We'll see you guys next week. Once again, 10 a.m. West Coast time, 1 p.m. East Coast time. For my co-host Thomas Brown, I am Brock Vierra, and on behalf of everyone here at Team NBS Media, we want to wish you guys a great weekend and see you later.